Good day to all our viewers out there. My name is Heinrich Neethling and welcome to Mathematical Literacy. In today's lesson, we'll be looking at personal income tax that forms part of our topic of finance. Let's get straight to that. So in our first question, we are saying the following, that Nosipho, 27 years old, earns a basic income of 15,300 Rand per month. Right? She also coaches the local community netball team and is paid 750 Rand per week. What else is important? She has monthly deductions, meaning she contributes 1,000 Rand per month to a pension fund, and she also belongs to a medical aid scheme where she contributes 1,475 Rand per month. So question 1A, it says determine Nosipho's gross annual income, and a note was given here that 1 month consists of 4.33 weeks. Okay, so quick question, our gross income, what does it consist of? Exactly, it consists of our basic income plus any additional income. Okay, so let's look at that. And remember now, if you look at the context here, the basic income was given per month and then additional income was given as per week. We must keep all of that or take all of that into consideration, right? Because we are now looking for an annual value. So let's start with the basic income. So I say basic income will then be your 15,300 Rand multiply by 12. Remember, since we are working with monthly values, right? So 15,300 multiplied by 12. So that will give us basic annual income of 183,600 Rand. Are we fine? Then what else need to be added here? She also coaches the local community netball team and is paid 750 Rand per week. Okay, so therefore, can I indicate this as other income? Right, so the other income, that will consist of 750 Rand per week, multiply 4.33 to take it from weekly to monthly, multiply by 12. Now I'm going from monthly to annual. So 750 multiply by 4.33 multiply by 12. So that will give us then annual income for the coaching of the netball team of 38,970 Rand. Okay, so therefore, what is the total gross annual income? And I'll write it down here. Okay, so the gross annual income will consist then of your 183,600 Rand plus the additional income for the coaching of 38,970 Rand. Okay, so let's add the two amounts together. So I'll say 183,600 Rand plus 38,970 Rand. So that will give us gross annual income of 222,570 Rand. Okay, guys, so it's 222,570 Rand. I hope that's fine. Okay, let us continue. Right, remember it's still the same context. Right, so I'm saying question number 1B, determine Nosipho's annual taxable income. Right, now what does annual taxable income consist of? Or how do we calculate it for that matter? We must take our gross annual income and we must subtract all our non-taxable items. Now I'm going to write down the gross annual income. We just calculated it in the previous slide. So we said it's 222,570 Rand. I'm writing it down there because we're going to need that. So annual taxable income, right, annual taxable income, I'll start with my formula, equals, that will be your gross annual income, right, minus all your non-taxable items. Non-taxable items or non-taxable deductions. Okay, guys, I hope that's still fine. So now let's start. What is our gross annual income? Can I just write this proper here for you? Gross annual income. Gross annual income equals 222,570 rand. Are we clear on that? Minus our non-taxable deductions. Now in this case, that will be our pension fund contribution. Can you see? So therefore, remember when we calculate this, it must again be an annual value. So therefore, I'll take my 1,000 rand, multiply that by 12, and that will give us 12,000 rand. So now I'll take my 222,570 rand minus, 12,000 rand. So that will give us an annual taxable income of 210,570 rand. 210,570 rand. Guys, are we clear with this? All right. Let's now move on then to our next question. It says use the tax table alongside. All right, there's our tax table. To calculate Nosipo's annual tax payable. Right, now remember we said her taxable annual income, and let me write it down here for you, is 210,570 rand. This is very important because this will determine in which tax category, the bracket, we will locate this amount, and we'll then calculate the annual tax payable. Okay, now I want you to keep in mind, we also indicated that this lady belongs to a medical aid as well. So therefore, she will qualify for the medical aid tax credit, but we'll deal with that once we get there. So let's see, in which tax bracket will I find 210,570 rand? Okay, so I'm sure you'll agree that will be in bracket number 2. All right, 210,570 rand will be between 189,881 rand and 296,540 rand. So what is applicable? So after finding the correct tax bracket, I move to the right-hand side of the tax table to see what is applicable. So therefore, in bracket number 2, basic tax of 34,178 rand is payable plus an additional 26%, right? 26% of the taxable income above 189,880. So I'll do this here so that you can see. So how will I get that? I'll take the 210,000, that is my taxable income, 210,570 rand minus, right, the ceiling amount there, minus the 189 rand 880. Okay, so let's do that calculation. 210,570 minus 189,880 rand. So that will give us 20,690. 20,690. Guys, I hope that's clear. You see where I'm getting the 20,690 from? I took the taxable income, right, and I subtract the 189,880. On that difference, we must pay an additional 26%. So let's simplify that. Keep your basic tax of 34,178 rand, plus I'm going to simplify this now. 26% of 20,690. So let's key that in on our calculator. Okay, let me calculate. So it's 26 divided by 100, multiplied by 20,690 rand. So when I simplify that, I will get 5,379 rand and 40 cents. All right, now I have to add the two amounts together. So 34,178 rand plus your 5,379 rand 40 cents. That will give you your tax so far of 39,557 rand and 40 cents. Right, I hope you guys are still with me. So now we are moving on to our next. We are done with the first part. We're moving on to our rebates. We said this lady is definitely younger than 65 years old, right? She's 27 years old. So therefore, she will only qualify for the primary rebate. So I will deduct that. Remember, what is a rebate? It's like a discount we get from our government, right? So minus 13,000 635 Rand, and I'll indicate this is my primary rebate. I must also deduct then another amount, and what will that be? Yes, that's for our medical aid tax credit. We have indicated she belongs to medical aid. But please note, this is monthly values, right? And when we calculate tax, we work with annual values. So therefore, the taxpayer will get 310 Rand, basically discount. So let's take the 310 and we multiply that by 12. So when I do that, I'll get 3,720. And I'll indicate this is the medical aid tax credit, right? So that you can follow my thoughts here as well. So two deductions basically. It's our primary rebate as well as our medical aid tax credit. Remember, we need to calculate the annual tax payable. So therefore, I'll take my 39,557 Rand and 40 cents minus my primary rebate of 13,635 Rand minus my medical aid tax credit of 3,720. Now let's key that in. 39,557 Rand and 40 cents minus 13,635 Rand minus your 3,720. So when I simplify this, I will get an amount of 22,202 Rand and 40 cents. I'll repeat, 22,202 Rand and 40 cents. And what do I call this amount? This now is my annual tax payable. Guys, I know it's a mouthful, but I hope it makes sense to you. Let us at this moment in time take a quick break. After our break, we'll do some more sums. See you now.